Paper Daisies are Gold Coast country pop duo Britt and Rhea Robertson, who have a decade-long friendship and a debut single, Heartbreakin Cowboy, which is truly lovely. And I just want there to be more songs from them. So hopefully they might say something about that. Hello, Britt, and hello, Rhea.
Hello.
Great to meet you and to talk about this song and a few other things. I am going to start by asking how long you knew each other before you started playing music together.
Oh, before we started playing music,
2014 was when we met.
yes,
Yeah,
started playing music around,
2017.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Along about 3 years.
um, was it a music-based friendship initially? Like, did you meet through music or you just happened to discover you both loved it?
We actually worked together at Movie World here on the Gold Coast. We both played Marilyn.
We were Marilyn Monroe, both
Yeah.
of us, and many other characters.
It might not make sense.
So it was a
Quite
work
different.
friendship,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but because we were both singing at work,
Yeah.
then it turned into a work music friendship.
Okay, so now I have questions about this. This was not in the bio, but I'm loving it.
Okay.
I am a Marilyn Monroe fan. So,
Oh, well, you've got
so
to.
a lot of people don't realize that Marilyn actually was a very good singer as well. Like she could do a whole lot of things. She was a very talented comedian as well. So now, if you don't mind, I'm going to ask, since you both did the same job, which is unusual in itself, did you feel like you were sort of trying to inhabit the persona of Marilyn when you were playing her, or was it more just making sure that people coming to Movie World got their Marilyn experience, if that makes sense?
I would say it's a bit of both at Movie World specifically. I'll show you. Yeah, at Movie World specifically. So we are encouraged to obviously inhabit the character and be Marilyn, but because you're in a theme park environment, it's really
Mhm.
about the guests and catering to them, making sure they have a good day and
Yeah.
fun. So yeah, you're right. She's back.
But also because you're playing the same character, therefore I would imagine you weren't necessarily there at the same time.
Yeah, so we played a few different things. So we would
Yeah.
have days on together. But we were both hired as Marilyn.
As Marilyn.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
which was the singer day as well. So we sang as all different characters, but the main thing we did was Marilyn Monroe.
Okay. And did you enjoy
Yeah.
it?
We
Oh yeah.
loved it. It was so
Yeah.
much fun.
It was yeah, it
It was
was
like the best time of our
it was
lives.
hilarious. It was like being on a adult school camp with all your best friends all the time. Like we would just hang out in the green room.
I met my husband there too.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Oh,
All, a
wow.
lot of our best friends, yeah, we all met each other at Movie World. It was the funnest time ever, yeah.
And also, I guess as singers, this is probably an endurance challenge, I guess, because if you're doing day after day, or was it structured so that you could have some time off and rest your voices? No,
Yeah.
no, Rhea's shaking her head.
no
was
rest
rough.
for the wicked. It was
Yeah.
yeah, it was rough, but I feel like it gave us a lot of I guess strength as vocalists
Yeah.
as well. Like we were so show fit and we could dance and sing in the middle of the summer heat.
Yeah.
And so we're very like show ready all the
Yeah.
time.
It's like, have you ever seen that clip of Beyonce running on the treadmill and singing at the same time? It's a weird version of that you
Yeah.
build up like a fitness because we had to do these full on dances while singing every single day.
Yep.
So I don't think I could do it now, but
Maybe not.
you build a fitness for it. Yeah.
I remember hearing years ago that you use more muscles singing than running. So, singing in and of itself
Yeah.
it churns through a
An
lot of
exercise
energy.
program.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I think it is. Like it's so much it's really hard to
Yeah.
do. Yeah,
Yeah.
physically, I mean.
Yeah.
And then you add the movement on top of it. So, look, it sounds like at least you both had fun. I love learning this detail about you both. I could probably ask you more questions.
A little fun,
A bit niche.
little fun fact about us.
But also, it does explain to me what I've heard in the song. So when I first listened to this song, I thought, oh, they just sound like they have been singing together for a really long time, and your voices work so beautifully together. And I always think, singing is this mysterious thing in some ways. Like it comes from a different place,
Yeah.
and when there are two singers who really flow together, it's about an understanding between them as much as it's a technical thing. And so the two of you just sound like you flow together, but now I know why, because you've been doing it for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, definitely. And I think like we really genuinely enjoy singing together as well.
Mm.
Like of course we do gigs and we perform for people and now we're releasing music for people, but it's also for us as well, like the experience of singing together and being immersed in our harmonies together is such a like beautiful thing that is so I wish everybody got to experience what it feels like to create music like with your best friend and your voices join and it's magical.
Yeah, and actually that comes across because it sounds like, even though the song is called Heartbreakin Cowboy, it sounds joyous.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
So I can only imagine you had a lot of fun in the studio.
We did. We had so much fun at the studio.
Yeah, it was awesome.
So you mentioned that you started making music together separate to the job in 2017. So was it sort of like this mutual realization that you wanted to do it, or did one of you have the idea and suggest it to the other?
We've actually only started writing together more recently.
Yeah.
We gigged kind of like cover gigs since 2017.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, somewhere along the way of being friends and singing together at Movie World, I think Rhea needed a cover for a gig and I jumped in and then it snowballed. Like we just kept booking together ever since.
I think I got offered like a pub gig that I wasn't super keen to do by myself. So I was like, please, we just like come play it with me.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, they need a name for the poster. And then we just came up with Paper Daisies and then everybody started booking us.
And no surprise there are. I found a website, I think, for your booking agency, and it had some live clips of you at various locations, and you sound beautiful together. So no surprise that you've been getting a lot of work. And as I said, hopefully there'll be more recorded music soon so that people can have it. So when you started writing songs, again, was it this sort of like this organic development of, oh, we need to be making our own music now, or was it a conscious decision of this has gone pretty well? Now let's move to this phase?
I think it's something we've always spoken about. And like I've always written and released music as a solo artist, and I knew what an incredible writer and poet and musician Britt was. And I was like, when are you going to start sharing it with the world? And then it just kind of clicked one day. It was like, oh, why don't we literally just do it together and join forces? And I feel like I knew it was going to be really organic and amazing. And I was right. Yeah. No, it was just it all just flowed and I always knew that it would. So now that it's actually happening, it's
fun.
It's amazing.
So there's a couple of different strands to your creative endeavors I'd like to ask about. Rhea, I'll go to you first. You mentioned your solo career now. You are a pop artist with over 6 million streams on one platform alone. So this is a very well developed solo enterprise. I mean, it sounds also that you're used to the team environment, shall we say? So singing with Britt wouldn't have taken much adjustment. But did moving into country pop take some adjustment? Because pop is adjacent to country pop, but there are different considerations from the audience, I guess, in terms of what they're listening for.
Yeah, I guess in a way, like I guess the country element was kind of new for me. But then if I look back to my roots, like I started writing and performing professionally when I was 14, and my roots were actually as like a folk acoustic artist. So I feel like I feel like I've done like a little full circle, a little bit back to my roots, and then adding this beautiful country element, especially with like Brit's beautiful music knowledge and background. It's been a real joining of forces and this beautiful, blended genre, I guess, that's country, pop, folk, everything immersed. So it feels like a coming home in a way.
Yeah. And so Britt, Rhea mentioned your poetry and also she now just mentioned your musical background. So what did you grow up listening to and what do you love? And when did you start writing poetry?
Oh, what did I grew up listening to Shania Twain. She was my number one.
Me too.
I actually went to
Shania girls.
I lived in Kansas City when I was about 5 years old, and my parents surprised me and took me to a Shania Twain concert, which was
Okay.
the highlight of my life. I got a t-shirt at that concert and I wore it to death. Like there were holes all through it. I was just so obsessed with her. I also love, we both grew up listening to Jewel,
Mm.
um, who I feel has had quite an influence on some of the music that we are planning to bring out soon as well. Um, yeah, so Shania, Jewel, Fleetwood, all the greats. But yeah, I've could you repeat the rest of your
Oh, the rest,
question?
no, the rest was
Like,
about
I just got
it was about
hung
Your
up on
poetry.
Shania. I was like, and then Shania Twain.
Your poetry.
yeah.
Oh, poetry. I've been just it's just a little outlet for me that I've had for a long time. I've always kind of written, yeah, poetry. I've always written songs, but I haven't released songs since I was very young. And I think to be really honest, lost the confidence in it a little bit, like through my 20s. And yeah, Rhea helped me find that again, which is really cool.
Just
That
through sheer perseverance.
you will do that.
And bullied her into
Yeah, but it's also like something really beautiful in doing it together. It doesn't, as much as I love making things on my own and love making, art in general, to do it with someone else in that collaborative space, it doesn't make me feel nervous, like because we're doing it together and I'm so like proud of Rhea. I'm so excited of what she's going to show, that like together it's just that feeling of
Yeah.
excitement.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been really beautiful to work on that together.
And she's
I
an
think
incredible established actress
Oh,
too.
yeah. That's where my
went-
brain's been
she's
for
an actress, yes.
for a while. It's
oh, okay, and in acting. Yeah.
yeah, which is completely random and not really related. But yeah, I've been doing acting professionally for the last 5 years, I think.
Mainly screen or stage.
Mainly screen, yeah. I'm on a few films that are mainly streamed in the States.
Okay.
Um, which has been really fun. And I'm also on a movie that I'm not sure when it's coming out, but it was the funnest thing I've ever done. It's called Zombie Plane, and Vanilla Ice is in it, Sophie Monk. Chuck Norris was in it. It was his last film he did.
Oh, okay.
Ice-T. It was the best time of my life. So yeah, I'm also an actress.
And again, not in the bio. And if I Googled
Yeah.
you, more than because I Googled the band and then
Yeah.
just saw one
Yeah.
thing about Rhea's music and obviously didn't get as far as your as your acting.
We're a bit of a can of worms
but
with
yeah.
all our little things.
We have these whole worlds, and then we've just joined them, and we're now creating a whole new Paper Daisies world.
Yeah.
Which is amazing. And I want to ask a question about creativity, but before I do, Britt, you mentioned you just said in passing, "Oh, I haven't released music since I was young," which suggests there was something going on when you were younger. And
Oh
it's
my
like,
goodness. This is very left of center, but I used to, I don't even know if people would want to know this, but when I was 9, I wrote songs.
wow.
I used to go to Hillsong Church and I wrote songs on their kids' album
Okay.
when I was 9 years old. So I released music
They're really good.
very young, very, very young. And then I worked on a lot of little projects through school and things like that where we released music. Yeah.
So you were 9, and Rhea, I read somewhere I think that you were busking at 4. Is that correct? So like you
I
both
love
started.
you really done your digging. Yeah,
You
yeah.
just both started super young. And because what I'm hearing from both of you is that actually I think it takes a certain amount of courage and commitment to pursue a fully creative life. You two have fully creative lives. Like you have your own separate projects, whether it's acting or music, and now you're joining together to do this. And it just strikes me that actually you're people who say yes to things. You found each other to say yes to things with, which is beautiful, but also that you just love it. And it's actually such a lovely thing in this world where there's a lot of, I think, negativity and a tendency to believe the worst in things. That you two just seem to be like, life is there for the taking.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. No, we definitely live very creative lives, and if it's not a creative pursuit in a career sense, we'll be doing random creative hobbies. We're we're avid crafters. We love doing craft.
Yeah.
So I feel like every element of our life is soaked in creativity.
So I have to ask which crafts because some crafters are there are camps, you're
Yeah,
either
there are crafts.
crochet or you're quilting or whatever. So what sort of crafts are they?
I crochet
Okay.
and attempt to knit, but mainly crochet. And Rhea
I do beading.
beads.
I
Yeah.
bead.
And
Okay.
sometimes we cross over and we
Yeah.
do things together. And
Yeah.
I do some beading and
And
Rhea learns
do some
does some
crochet.
crochet.
So it sounds like you basically every day is an opportunity to do something creative,
It really
Craft,
is.
yeah.
Yeah. Something must be created every day.
which is fantastic. So, Britt, I imagine being on the Gold Coast helps with the acting because there is a lot of film production happening there now. And if anyone visits the Gold Coast, they can see signs to various studios going on. But in terms of music, is it? And my impression is that there are more and more venues opening up. But do you find that there are venues that are right for you there?
We've been really blessed to have consistent work for years. A lot of it is in the corporate world,
Yeah.
um, and like corporate events, and we also sing at a lot of beautiful weddings. And so I feel like we've been very, very lucky to have consistent work singing for people, which is amazing. I think in terms of the original music scene, the Gold Coast used to actually have the most incredible, flourishing original music scene, and it kind of dwindled off over the years. But I feel like it's coming back. I feel like there's more opportunities that are coming through, and artists who are just putting on their own shows as well, and putting a bit of push behind council as well to make more venues that we can actually put on shows. We have full intentions to put on some of our own like Paper Daisies shows as well. So I think there's good opportunities.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
So, given the amount of activity that's happening, do you have a shared Google Calendar or equivalent where you're planning everything? Because I imagine like trying to get together to do things on booking in your shows, you have to be
Yeah.
organized for this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, we probably should have a Google
Yeah,
Calendar.
that's a great idea, actually.
I
So it's
think
more,
I mean, we're in
Right.
constant communication
right.
and we see each other all the time. So I feel like we have a general awareness of what each other are doing all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, now that it's becoming more and more, we are going to have a Google Calendar.
Or look at assistant, you know.
An assistant,
Yeah.
yes. Taking applications.
Yeah.
Look, I do think that many artists should have assistants because the admin of being an artist is at odds with the work of, the creative work, basically.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's probably
So-
most of the work.
Yeah.
Yeah, very true.
Time
So
on.
I've been neglecting the single because I've been so interested in everything else you've been saying. But back to Heartbreakin Cowboy. So it's, as I said, it sounds joyous when you're singing together, but it has heartbreak in the title. So what is the story behind Heartbreakin Cowboy?
Heartbreaking Cowboy actually came out of a conversation that we had with one of our really good friends. It was just a girly conversation where she was telling us about this guy she liked, and she'd sort of been seeing him. And we realized through some investigation, because we're quite sleuthy like that, that there's basically a line of girls for this one guy. He's very charming.
Yeah.
He's an amazing person. But yeah, there was a line of girls, and it was kind of that feeling of, am I his pick, or like what's going on here?
Yeah.
And yeah, so when we started writing, we kind of started coming up with the tune, and then we're like, oh my gosh, this is about old mate, basically. And I think there's joy to it because it's that feeling of girlhood, and the fact that it came from such a organic conversation with friends.
Just the silliness of like when you have a crush that is essentially delusional, that you're like even if we make it a broader picture as well, like you think back to being a younger girl, like a teenage girl, and having like a celebrity crush, but you were like, I'm gonna marry
like Justin Bieber is mine.
I'm gonna marry Justin Bieber. Like and I feel like so many of our friends and stuff, that is a shared experience, that we've all had this idea like it's it's going to happen. Like, but
Yeah.
it actually probably won't ever happen.
Yeah.
But that's how the song was born. So
So it sounded, I mean, the production is fantastic on it and suits it very well, but I could also hear how it could have been like slower, more of an acoustic sound to it, and maybe you play it that way live. I'm curious when you went into the studio whether you had a fixed idea of how you wanted it to sound or whether your producer played a part in that.
we co-wrote with our good friend Bradley Green, who's a multi-instrumentalist. He's played with a lot of amazing artists, and he's just a dear, dear friend of ours. He and our like engineer producer at Love Street Studios, Scott French, the two of them together created the most incredible production, all live instrumentation, all relatively created on the fly and with the energy of the moment. So we had the song written with just an acoustic guitar, and we went into the studio and they'd go, "What about this instrument?
Yeah.
What about this instrument? What if we play the drums like this?" And we would just all know when it was an immediate yes, and we'd be like, "This is it, this is it." So it really built in the studio. There wasn't a real preconceived idea of what it should be.
Other than we thought it was a fun song.
Yeah.
We did definitely have that idea, even though, like you said, the lyrics kind of pertain to a heartbreaking guy. We did have that idea that it was fun.
Yeah.
And then, it all snowballed. They were completely amazing, those two.
Yeah.
Well, I think the fun in it as well sort of gives the signal that even if he's a heartbreaking cowboy, everything's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's kind of like the idea is that, the character in the song that we're singing from the perspective of that she's even lighthearted about. She's like, "I'm gonna get him. Like, I'm gonna get him." But
Yeah,
it's
like,
kind of like, "Oh, well, if I don't,
it's a challenge,
fine."
but I like a challenge.
Yeah. It's not like the actual Heartbreaking Cowboy is even doing anything. He's just existing.
Yeah.
He's just being a cowboy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And a heartbreaker.
So beautiful.
Yeah.
So I'm very much hoping that when you went into the studio to record that song, you record some other songs. So is there more on the way?
Yes, there is. What do we want to say?
We have
Well, you don't have to say any more than that as long as it's
No,
confirmed.
we'll say everything. We're open
We
book.
just hadn't decided what.
This is actually the debut single off what will be our EP.
Oh,
So
fantastic.
there is an EP coming this year, and the next song is actually coming on the 9th of July. So the next single off the EP. So yes, that's
Well, I will need to make sure I post the interview before then. And if someone's listening to this ahead of 9th of July, you know that I actually succeeded in that. So in terms of your, so obviously you wrote a few songs because you made an EP. Are you regularly writing together, sort of building up a cache of songs, or given everything else that's going on, are you more thinking it's project based? Like we want to write songs for this, we want to write songs for that.
What do you reckon?
I think, well, the thing is, you're right, we have been very busy, but I think that I think it's we love writing together, and with our guitarist, musician, genius Brad, that it's kind of something that I feel like we're just gonna keep doing.
Yeah.
Because there's so much joy and creativity in it that like kind of can't get enough at the moment.
And it seems to flow so
Yeah.
easily between the three of us as well. We've got a really good dynamic together. We kind of know that if we sit down for a couple hours, we're going to have the bones of a few songs,
Yeah.
and then we can flesh out the ones we want to build on. Or we've got going to just start building this backlog so that we can just keep making music.
So given the success you both had and in various endeavors, I'm wondering when you were those little girls, 4-year-old Rhea busking and you, Britt, when you were 9 doing, releasing music and things, did you think, yes, this is it, this is me? I mean, imagine you've made conscious decisions to with everything you've done in your creative lives, but was it the childhood dream that you would do what you're doing now?
Yeah, I don't think I ever considered anything else. I know I had just so much support from my family, but it was pretty clear from the moment I could speak. I didn't really speak. I just sang and
Right.
danced all the time. And I declared it then, and I still declare it now. Sometimes I go, "Why did I do this?" No. Um,
Yeah.
but it's just an innate part of who we are.
Yeah, it's one of those things, I think, the love of music or the arts, like for me as well, acting is that even if I have tried to veer away from it before, I will always
It's
come back because the love for it is just so deep and pure that I can't stay away. So this is the dream. Yeah, especially because I think as a little girl, I definitely wanted to be doing something like this, and I wouldn't have even imagined that it would be with my best friend. It makes it like 10 times better.
Literally makes it
Yeah.
10 times better than being alone.
Yeah, it's just so much fun. It's such a gift.
Well, you're bringing a lot of fun to us, and I think song is a gift, and I'm very excited to hear there will be an EP. I'm going to leave it there for now, but hopefully we'll talk to you again. So, Britt and Rhea, Paper Daisies, thank you for your time.
Thank
Amazing. Thank you for having us.